Hi everybody, it's Sunny again. So I thought I would take the time to do kind of an introductory video. For those that don't know of me, I have been on this journey for a very long time, and I think what's incredible is, some people may say, how do you come up with this stuff, especially with the light language writing? Where does it come from? Like, do you channel it? I have really tried to steer away from the use of the word channeling, especially for some of us who it's not necessary to channel. And I know that sounds, I don't know what it sounds like, it doesn't really matter, but there are some of us that actually do not need to channel. We are created a little differently. And so we have access to information and energy just by nature of how we are created. And there are a number of us that are like that. So I try to steer away from the word channel because it's not really what I do. When I access light language, angelic code, DNA activations, when I do that work, it is through me, it is from me, it is my access to it that brings it forward. The reason I'm stressing this is because I want us to get into the understanding of self-sovereignty on such a level that we can embrace all of our gifts wholeheartedly. And it took me a very long time to do that. I think probably most of us have doubts about our gifts and our abilities. Like I said in the beginning, I've been on this path for a very long time. I always knew I was a little different. I was kind of the solitary kid reading, A Wrinkle in Time. and wanting to, I think this was when I was 8 or 9. My dream was to find the connection between the microcosm and the macrocosm. Like, I remember saying that to myself. So, yeah, I'm a little different. So, our self-sovereignty is the most important thing as beings. It allows us to come home to ourselves, to embrace all that we are, and then to explore that in its fullness and its beauty, right? So that's just my story. That's me. So what I guess I'd like to share is a little bit about how I got here. I have been through a few teachers, like most of us on this path that have been on it for a while. And every one of them had their beauty, their place, the gifts that they uncovered within me. And that is the grace of all that is. Everything is divine timing, perfect alignment, all of that beautiful stuff. So I am so grateful for this journey that I've been on, to the depth of self-love that I have now. It has been the greatest gift to myself. Because a lot of times as light workers, we're like, oh, but I can save the world, I can save this, I can do that. And at the end of the day, all you're left with is you. So getting to really know and love all that you are is the most important thing. Otherwise, everything you will encounter is yourself, unhealed, unresolved. It becomes a world of mirrors, which we know we exist in, of course, but it becomes the personal ones that are kind of painful. So, me getting here, early 20s, prestigious school, questioning, dropping out of my conventional, Southern Baptist church, my grandmother getting all upset about it, knowing that I was always taken care of no matter what. Moving to New York City, having certain experiences where I started having out-of-body experiences, dream time experiences, and also sometimes interference on a really heavy level. And a lot of it culminated around the time that my mother left her body. I was 25 years old, and I had a premonition about it 3 days before it happened. And then after 3 months, I saw her in a dream. And I had seen her in dreams before, but it was more like cathartic stuff, you know. This was her in dream time. I saw her. And I sat up in my bed and I closed my eyes and I could still communicate with her. So this was very, very different. And I remember her communicating to me that I had 5 years to do whatever it was I needed to do. Me, of course, not knowing anything but anything, I was like, oh, I'm going to die in 5 years. I didn't understand what she was trying to communicate to me. It took many years for me to get it. But really, my spiritual journey in earnest started probably between 5 and 8 years after that experience. So it made sense to me. Fast forward, let's go 8 years after that. I went through a series of things that were not so great. Let's say 2007 sort of was a turning point for me. And I went really deep into my spiritual practice. And then I started having experiences. I started finding people that could help me and talk to me about it. And then I had an experience with Archangel Michael that changed my life forever. We'll talk more about that one day. And a year later, I found on the YouTube, I found a guru from India. His name is Yogiraj. And I wound up going to India February of 2009 to meet him. I saw him in my dream. I had to go. So, and that was also a life-changing experience. I was initiated into the Kriya Yoga, which is the Maha Avatar Babaji lineage. Also, Yogananda was part of that lineage as well. So, really, big shoes there. But something about it wasn't for me, and I couldn't explain it. I just knew there was something of the goddess missing in it. I couldn't find her so readily there. And so I had to look at my altar and say, okay, guys, I love you, but I'm going to find the goddess. And that's what I did. I happened upon the Seer Almin, and quite astonishingly, it was instant what I got from her just by looking at her and then getting her information. And so for 9 years, it has been this information through her that has blessed me so profoundly. I am at the completion of 9 years, and I have found myself moving on my own, into my own field, into my own direction. Again, I would not be where I was without all of the love and care and compassion and grace bestowed upon all of her students, because that's just who she is. It's the light family, and it's the awakenedness and the awareness she has brought to my life. So for that, I am eternally grateful forever to my sister Almin. That being said, the Avatar Heart of Grace is something new and incredibly high. It's incredibly high. And I am, again, so incredibly grateful to be the person able to transmit it for the world, for life, for myself. Because it's like the Lakshmi blessing, it's the Kuan Yin blessing. It is the thing that just unfolds itself like the lotus. It just blesses by its nature. And that is so remarkable to me. So I think that's enough for right now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to a little bit about my story and how I got here. There's more. We'll delve into some of the really fun stories at a different time. But for right now, I say thank you and aloha. If you'd like, please subscribe. I should be uploading more regularly. It's exciting to do this in this form. So I'm really happy about it. So thank you. Bless.